Hello. All the girls are good girls, actually, and everybody that's saying there's a bad girl is wrong and mean. You're wrong and you're a meanie head, okay? All right. There. Now that we got that out of the way, woo! It's only been like 3 weeks since I last played this. I hope I remember all the characters' names. I think I do. I hope I do. Did I remember to set up voice? I don't think I did. Hold on a second. Let me get Angie's voice set up. Just one moment. Oh, I did set it up, actually. Great. Good job, me. Okie dokie. Jesus, Stern. Jesus, you guys have a ton of points. The good news is I'll eventually have some stuff you actually burn points on.
Choose wisely or you'll get the carrots.
What does that mean? What does get the carrots mean? Alright, let's load our previous save.
Hey Ori, watch out.
Hey Ori, watch out! The carrots are coming! Anyway. The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is God dang it! Is there even enough people to give so many memberships to? Thank you again, but like, you just want to get another emote. You just want that last Doro emote, don't you? That's what it is, isn't it? You want that last Doro emote. Fine, I'll give it to you. Thank you for continually supporting the channel. We certainly appreciate it here. And by we, I mean Angie and I, because there's two of us. Alrighty then. There's your perks. Emoji. Add another. Select image. And then, let's see, which one haven't we done yet? We haven't done... Okay, we just haven't done the regular one. The regular Doro. I'm also renaming the other one to Doro Shock so that they're, you know, distinguished. There. There you go. Do I get any more emoji, actually? No, I don't. Okay. Again, 5 more needed. Jeez. It's always 5. Anyway. Thank you again for your continual support. Who's the best waifu so far? I don't know yet, actually. I don't know. Because...
Underscore orange Doro Shock. Orange Doro Shock. Underscore Doro Shock.
Hold on.
Doro Shock underscore orange Doro Knife. Orange Doro Knife. Underscore Doro Knife. Doro Knife underscore orange Doro. Orange Doro. Underscore Doro. Doro.
I really gotta figure out how to fix that. I don't even want to completely get rid of it. I just want to get rid of at least one of the because it like says the emote name twice. I want to get it so that it only says it like once. I think that's a fair trade. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Who's the best waifu so far? I actually don't know. I am still undecided. I'm still learning about them. There's still some of them that I don't know much about. And I am interested in learning more. So that's the goal of today's stream. Today's the goal.
Underscore orange derp.
God damn
orange
it!
Derp. Underscore derp. Derp underscore orange thinking. Orange thinking. Underscore thinking. Thinking underscore orange smile. Orange smile. Underscore smile. Smile underscore orange burn. Orange burn. Underscore burn. Burn underscore orange s mug. Orange s mug. Underscore smug. Smug underscore orange concern. Orange concern. Underscore concern. Concern underscore orange dance. Orange dance. Underscore dance. Dance underscore orange Doro Shock. Orange Doro Shock. Underscore Doro Shock. Doro shop underscore orange Doro knife. Orange Doro knife. Underscore Doro knife. Doro knife.
Have you had your fun? The goal of today's stream is to decide which route to take and who will be our best girl. That's the goal. So without further ado, without any more interruptions, let's continue with that goal. Sheesh. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they're going to let me get away with it that easily. Shu didn't catch the membership. I'm actually, it's kind of, I don't know how. I don't know how Shu didn't catch membership. Shu's been here like both times and didn't manage to get one. It's brutal. Anyway, and the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. It's life. Is your account, if your account is, treated as a brand account, I don't think you can get gifted membership, so that could be why you didn't get one. I don't know, or maybe you just really didn't get lucky. I don't know. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd order some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way. A bit like me. After all, I'm going to start taking care of myself. I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics, which include keeping the rest of my body in shape, along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life. Or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. I wonder who could... it's her! It's Emmy! I believe that was her name. I haven't played it so long, I'm forgetting their names already. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely. Like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetics legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog like he is oppressing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and his prompting me to do so. And even with things being like they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. Former assailant. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Good morning. Your name is Sasao, right? She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remembered my name. I almost forgot yours! You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday. At least she's honest and upfront about it. How could I forget such a, blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. Yeah, sorry about that. Again. Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine. Great! I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you? That's right. Oh. I was expecting someone from nursing staff, from the nursing staff, to be honest. What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy? No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I had seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost around the track. What a dick. So why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. Training! For what? Track! I see, you're on the track team then. Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep, I'm one of the better runners too. And modest about it too. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I really like running all that. Oh wait, sorry, wrong voice. Nah, I'm not even sure I really like running all that much. Liar! You used to play soccer. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? Lie! It's true, I never even really got that much into soccer. Oh. Oops. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. What, you mean you don't enjoy playing soccer where you just run up and down the field for like 20 minutes and then maybe score? I guess I should give some background on that. I used to do soccer when I was a youngin'. That's right. Back in the high of school, I was a soccer.
Sucks.
You're right. Soccer sucks because I used to do it, and all I did, right? All I would do is just run up and down the field for like 20 minutes because I was one of the better kids who could run, so that means I was assigned midfield, which means you run up and down the field. You play offense and defense, so you run up and down the field. So I basically just ran up and down the field, occasionally passing the ball to people for 20 minutes. I've scored a single goal in my entire life because the ball landed in front of me and I just kicked it in. It was great.
The last time our MC even walked in snow, his heart decided Kermit slide.
I had the joy of being goal, aka never had to run. There you go. Although all the pressure's on you to prevent them from scoring, so you know, you'll win some, you'll lose some. Let's boost the game audio a bit. There. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not into the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're gonna run together, huh? Well, sure, why not? That was a pretty good goal. Nice. Emmy seems pleased. Are you gonna warm up? Real mental. Dude, you of all people need to warm up. Otherwise you're gonna destroy your heart. Oh no, you should always warm up. Batty Sal. That's right, slap him. She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, and I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go! So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting on the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently, I'm not very good at it. You also haven't been running for, like, at least several months, so, like, don't... And you have a bad heart. Don't beat yourself up about it, kid. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps a day, and so do I'll walk pretty quickly. And then the game just got quiet. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? Is our MC as bad as the Quap guy? Yes. Yes, he is. I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. What a happy girl. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time, you just have to try to hold out longer, and then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. Jesus, I can speak. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I noticed that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later. Alright, yeah, see ya. Girl does not care. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice to at least feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try to keep that up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. Worst case, she can just run to her lessons. Sure can. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Oh, God. Hey, buddy! Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog. Sup? Thank God you are censored from the neck down. What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem? Jesus, Kenji.
I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man.
What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm still naked too, and quickly hold up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad it's like he's perpetually seeing through fog?
You know, your room and... yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money?
His skin is mostly dead.
His skin is mostly dead. What? Oh, Kenji is the man. I don't know if she's gonna say that later, or because you both entered that at the same time. I guess we'll find out. He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane-sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked. To say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. Skin that black means it's dead and rotting away. If your skin is that black, you're already dead. I'm sorry. There's no coming back from this. Nakedception. Try to brush the feeling off with little success. Money? Sure, whatever. Just put some fucking clothes on, dude.
Awesome.
Wait, why do you need it?
Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill to not run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal.
This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment, since his thoughts were so clearly impure, and his intentions are probably even more than sinister. Since he can't even tell me what they are, I say as much to him.
I'm offended, man, but if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza. I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest.
I get some of that pizza too, right?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat a pizza.
What about you?
I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you in the pizza, and then they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before, that's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance so that when the people who wronged me order a pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant.
Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony.
But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza, it's too far. Try not to go outside unless it's absolutely necessary.
Not the pizza.
Not the pizza.
Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance. I was outside, I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing? Maybe wondering how I got there?
What did I just walk into? You walked into naked Kenji is what you walked into. He can't see you. He's still naked, by the way.
And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning splitting the sky, like how you split a sandwich into two.
What?
Is how you split a sandwich into two equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird crept on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life.
What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that, even if it's more likely he just didn't hear me.
It was like in the opening to some kind of anime show. You know how there's always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival, and they fly at each other and clash swords, and there's like big dramatic colored auras and zoom? It was like that, but with poo.
Okay.
So yeah, I need some money, please. Don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen.
I thought it was 400.
Okay,
What?
I'll pay you back, I swear.
You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff.
I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back.
You have 1 week. You have 1 week before I start charging interest! Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A particularly disturbing fact, given that his baton is conducting freely.
You're not supposed to be so tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make?
Kenji! Shut the fuck up! Where did that even come from? Doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. So maybe I am. No, you're fucking not, kid. Strictly, that would be illegal. So let me try reading that again.
So maybe I am a porn star. On the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. You can't even spot me your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody.
Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? Is feminist agenda stuff again?
This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit. But this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy, make no mistake. You take them lightly and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere.
How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep?
Women are terrible. Women are terrible at stabbing things.
I thought you just said don't take them lightly.
Well, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if there was some kind of war, like a big war with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other side, it would be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers!"
You're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with women only in it.
Who said it was on Earth?
I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in a mirror so that I can figure out what kind of frown will best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway. Which, unfortunately, means that he just keeps on ranting without any regard to sense or sensibility.
Yeah, there's a war going on. A war not many know about, but it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all of the known world. Then we will have to pick sides. We'll have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield. A vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight. When I mistook the time the power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I did give up, it would all be over. And I was like, whoa. And I knew I had to get serious. Because I am the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty.
Must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom at another naked guy.
So can I have the money?
No! He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked and I want to go to class, so I agree to spot him the money.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later on.
Bowling?
Yeah, it's the ultimate sport.
There are almost no women bowlers either, making it also the manliest sport.
Should I wear my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes or the pastel green with flower accents?
There are bowling clothes?
Maybe.
Anyway, you had better pay me back.
I can pay you back in stuff, right?
I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get to class. You're kind of in the way.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I don't want to hold you up, and I have some stuff to do myself. The time has come.
The time for what?
The time for
Oh, I was gonna say the time for pizza, but no, it's just, I just like saying that.
Okay, now the time has really come.
For what?
I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it.
I was just going to, and what does that mean? It's a big bathroom.
So, I have to be alone, or I can't go. The pressure.
He's be shy. Okay, what if someone else comes in? Then he's gonna hold it in until they leave.
I'll think of something.
I give him my practice frown, and it looks kind of silly reflected in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see. These are the same, kind of the exact same, whatever. I'm getting pedantic about the choice of words. Anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. That is time that I will never get back, and money, probably. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today. Although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. So did you choose Kenji? Yes! Let's go! We'll take down the feminist agenda together! My god, that kid is insane. That photo of that bed looks too darn real. That's probably because it's a photo of a real bed. There actually is a Kenji choice. I figured there was, to be honest. The combination of fatigue... Oh, wait, did I already read this? I don't remember, I'm gonna read it again anyway. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize this is as good a reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Oh my god, you're dating him. No, I refuse. I'd push that kid into a locker for sure. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant, as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there, and I'm also interested in seeing if she is in fact actually a vampire. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was of importance to look prim when entering our classroom. Okay, so she's not a vampire. Noted. Excuse me? She calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Miss Al, good morning. I didn't hear you come in. That's because I've been here. I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. That's likely. If I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today, by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bells ring. Or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. That's strange. But I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here. I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess. It's all your fault. You got up too early, and now everybody's dead. You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival is coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today. Huh? He. Oh, sorry, that was hi. Hi! Misha pops into the room with Shizune, as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. Hi, Hee-chan! Hi. Look, it's the class representative! Hello! Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha's, or Shizune's, use of the word look. Good morning. Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? Right? I'm not. Lily seems a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might not actually know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she's talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha. But knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune to being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out, for my own peace of mind, more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune. You were here even earlier than us. Yeah, what's it to ya? Huh? Huh? Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf, too? It's not that weird, though, is it? That Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true. I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival is coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events. Even the first years, except you. Wahahaha! There is still time to hand it in, isn't there? Today! The deadline is today! You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have had all the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone had to say the deadline. Please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect the whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. And do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class's event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does that work is me. Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she really is getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hisao, it's alright. Lily seems happy that I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I have forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me. Students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune and Misha's effort to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around, so now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school to give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Lily's smart. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't. And she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. She's too happy. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with that attitude? I said that it's not something that you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative, or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle this simple task yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I am supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She is playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers carefully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is. Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of the sarcasm with which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear. But this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Oh, it's getting real. Fight, fight, fight. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. Oh, that was good. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell. Duel 1. And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. Boom! The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Hee-chan, don't you slack off either. Misha, where'd this come from? What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hee-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. Yeah, we can... We'll stand up for Lily. Lily's done nothing wrong. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up, too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. Good choice. I'm not that stupid. Excuses, excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work. But you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune. And that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Nice! Good job, me. Thank you, Hisao. I'll leave now, then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week and turns on her heels to make her exit. Bye, Lily! As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. Keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Damn! That was fiery. Hanako doesn't come into the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring by comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. Are you sure about that? The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. Sometimes writing stuff down can help you remember things. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do. So I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. Fair enough. I noticed Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. Put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself, like how I do reading this every single time I try to read a sentence. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters. And then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. Well, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again. Though, I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Poor Misha having to deal with Shizune. I think I know which character you hate. Just a hunch. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kinda neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore him or sneer at me. But in the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. I think that was encumbrances. Nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello! Oh, hey, Hanako. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Hanako, wait, don't leave! I got something to tell you! Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. Hey, managed to catch up. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Alexander. We're having some, we're trying to figure out who best girl is and who we want to, which route we want to take. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen... Oh, alright, it's been a while. I forgot. I was like, what do you mean you haven't seen her? Sorry, you haven't seen Sato. She, came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with the usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at? You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah. I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods fractionally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly. One that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be wary. Or maybe more like, why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together. Something that I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it. At least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there is not much of a crowd there. But Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head seems even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere... wrong voice. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library. I was reading. So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class, like Shizune said, right? Right. With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both our minds. So you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was rather obvious, after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either. So I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. Well, she can have one more. I'll be her friend. She's sow. She's the precious cinnamon roll. I think I know what characters you like now. I think this is actually quite simple. Must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, most reflexive nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. You might be wrong. Gasp! It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more, both of us content that discussions reached an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish, moving from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. Not very bright there, are you, so... She's hiding behind you. The students pass us without so much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building. Her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I'd call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have even been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to be completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first and come to me for backup, I wonder? Maybe. Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reached the door to Class 3-2, with Hanako less than subtly positioning herself between me. Or behind me. I opened the door. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. I think I already know which route you're going on. You might be wrong. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. Isn't she, like, taller than most of the other students? With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for the lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily! She perks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best she can. I said going on, not going for. Oh no! Sorry, who? Ah, sorry. Isao. I have Hanako too. Hi. She's pretty skittish. Considering the number of people around, it isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment's pause to assess the situation before turning to the other student once again. For the moment, just ask Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. You! A quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in a corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. That's right, Class 3-2 was specifically for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Good job, Isao. You're doing pretty good helping your shy friend. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Oh no! Keep Kenji away from them! No, please! Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. I can't really blame her. I take it you've met? Kenji, best girl! Kenji! 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 Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Friend. I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Time to go see your autistic Harry Potter friend. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. We'll go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right. Just ask if you have any problems. Chorusing in assent, Hanako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Hey, Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted kanji that's stretched on the sheet and pencil. Kenji? Huh? What? Who is it? This is the way he treats class members. It's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, Isao, from the right. I know that, man. What are you doing here, though? I almost forgot to do his voice. His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to get really focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks up from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just gonna help with that banner, Hanako and I, that is. Oh no, we introduced him to a girl and it's Hanako of all people. Don't you dare be weird, Kenji. Hello?
Oh, hey, I guess that's okay.
Ah. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about face. His sudden foul hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh right, women. On second thoughts, this may not have been a great idea after all. Hanako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noting the several small paint tins on the ground around it. Class 3-2. Noodle stall? You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday?
Yeah, some stalls outside. Or something.
Or something. His non-committal nature speaks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? We do borders while you do the text? Or do you want to switch and do the borders?
Text is mine, you do borders.
He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako is already debating between colors to use. By the time I've put brush to cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. Good job, you! With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me and whisper conspiratorially, though. Oh, God. What do you got, Kenji?
Okay, man. Why are you here?
Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivations.
I get it. Looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover.
I should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him, in any case.
Is that why you're here? Obviously. It sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school. A harsh world.
Yes, very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back. Satisfied I'm sympathetic to his cause, I'd better get down to work. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job. The two of us connect up the lines of our patterns, mine being as close a copy as I could manage of hers. With a grunt, I lever myself up from the floor and look around. Dude, you are not old enough to be grunting when you're standing up. You're still in high school. You can just get up. You don't need to grunt about it. That's for us old folk to do, okay? Don't encroach on my territory, kid. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left, finishing off a sign as well as Lily and a couple of students talking among themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise, it's getting pretty late. I can grunt as a 29-year-old man. Yes, you've earned the right to grunt. Need a hand? Gatekeeping grunty. You're damn right! I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. Sorry, that was uncalled for. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. If her scars extend even to there, just how much of her body was burned. I feel a pang of guilt about it, however, as she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Is that hand-holding? Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment before noticing I meant the banner. It does, I guess. Premarital hand-holding. Oh, how sinful of us! Oh, I need to ring the horny bell. Premarital hand-holding is a sin. Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. We finished the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done? Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Hisao. Hanako, if there's any way I can thank you? It's fine. Beats sitting in my room studying, at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room.
Yes, I am. Yeah, just finished.
Hand holding does make babies. It's totally proven fact. True! Can't argue with that. Definitely true. He carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. Man, dude, you're so bad at infiltrating! You're gonna let all this juicy intel pass you by? You're so dumb! No wonder why you're the only one left. Everybody else abandoned your dumbass. Jeez. See ya, man. Bye. The remaining 2 students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the 3 of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time? Indeed. The class's plans this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stalls look nice, though. She's right. It shows that a lot of work's gone into them. My, I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? It's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hisao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting really makes the garden look quite different. Compared to the usual look of lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd 1 or 2 can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly, gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The, thing with Shizune took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I, we go back some ways. Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glanced to Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is, unsurprisingly, evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival is over, in any case. The change of topic is welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of a school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such special occasions. And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair No! Don't say that! You're starting to sound like Kenji, man! Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear our grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helps me a bit with Yamaku, compared to there. Hold on, let me try reading that again. I don't think I understood a single word that I just said. I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helps me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go away towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior, in any case. As we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See you, Lily. Hanako. The 2 both give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorm, just next to the guys. As is to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. Feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seems almost like a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise and I'm gonna keep it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. That's it, it's another day. It only took me like an entire hour to get through it. My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Hi, Emmy! Emmy has apparently been here for some time. Looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell did she come down here anyway? Oh, it's you. I'm surprised to see you again. Why is that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowns, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought.
It's all about asserting dominance with carrots.
What do you mean? How do you assert dominance with carrots? You just throw them at people? Is that it, Mr. Carrot Boy? I'm gonna start calling you Carrot Boy. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. I guess it's pretty early in the morning. A shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snack back to her previous train of thought. So come on, then. What? You're here to run again, right? Well, yeah. So come on. I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work toward things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Go for it, buddy! I hope this doesn't kill me. What am I doing here? Am I really just gonna fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins. Still going? Wouldn't want you to think I'm out of shape. Emmy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're gonna play things. Why does your heart hear boss music? It just starts hearing the Dark Souls 3 Vort theme song music. I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. Can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. A rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we started playing a game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast. How the hell does she keep it? It's like a string pulling at my chest. A choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Woohoo! Death speedrun 80%! We got it! Before I can think of anything else other than, oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch at my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Let's go dying! Oh, dang it! Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen. Sao? She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. He can't let himself loose to a girl. Kenji would be so proud. What's wrong? Nothing, just keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic. You need me to get the nurse? I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone like nothing happened. It was nothing? No, something happened there. I open my eyes again and glance at a very worried Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird, even to myself. Oddly even and matter of fact. Makes Emmy frown. I don't think you are. She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself. Right, you're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse. Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Emmy offers for support. Come on, dude. Just tell her about your condition. It isn't that deep, buddy. She won't mind. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition. Though at this point, it seems to be too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. Yep, he's definitely a teenage boy, that's for sure. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place. Sal's probably the most annoying character I've had that displeasure.
Do you have the heart to hell her?
The heart to hell her? What? Huh? I don't think he's that bad. I think, again, he's a teenage boy, so he does a lot of stupid things, which naturally can make, you know, playing him annoying. But I don't mind him so far, at least. Nurse! Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, Sunshine. What's up? Sunshine? Anyway, he calmly slips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway. Hey, Sal, what brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing at his chest, and I thought I'd come get you and make him wait there. I didn't even get to read all that. I didn't even click. It just auto went into the next one. Easy there, Emmy. Calm down. Hey, Sal, what happened? I don't know. We were running and then my chest started hurting like that time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns, as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested to get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hisao. I was being careful, come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would. You just, what? That is, I was racing Emmy. Emmy, is this true? Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite. Well... Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand tiredly. Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. Damn, threw Emmy under the bus. I know, right? She didn't even actually... She was just like, let's go running, and then Hisao made it into a race. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? We were just running, and Emmy started to pull away, and so I sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back down at the both of us. So you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hisao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something. I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die. So, how does it feel? I don't know, nothing much. Tired, but it might just be from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest, and we'll see how you feel after that. I'm not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed. And he'd be like, wait, you had a heart condition? Yeah, it's not her fault. She didn't know. She also wasn't even racing. She was just doing her morning routine. Hisao is just the idiot. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries. It's not her fault at all. Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful. Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up. I want to make it up to you. Again with that decisive nod. So you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good. I start with a, you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see your face. Good. We meet on the roof. We? Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know. I see. You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you. Of course not. Great, see you there. I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He has opened the window of his office, and it's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. There's an MS Paint baby on the monitor. Baby, you mean? I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer, and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it, not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave? Like, that heart flutter thing was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was. It was just a reflex, to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Ah, stupid, stupid, stupid. I have to be more careful, or I'll end up in the hospital again. Or worse. That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. Wake up! You're gonna miss your lunch date with Emmy. Yep, I see it. I fell asleep? For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels like nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. Feeling kinda groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me cooking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. Oh, cool, we're still gonna make it. Try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, Hisao. Oh, fine. Climb down from that bed then, let's see how you're doing. Don't... I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly, is what I was going to say. Just sit there, I'll check your pressure to make sure. Is that 10:15? That is, yep, that is 10:15. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. Could have just said 10:15. Smack my mic with that one. You don't seem to understand us Americans. We don't do 10:15 round these parts. It's 10:15, 10:10. Or 10:15 for 15, 15 for 45. And then and a half for a half hour. That's how we do it around these parts. America! You're alright? Head stop spinning? Which is also kind of funny now that I think about it, because this is set in Japan. Yeah. Good, and how are the contents doing? The content? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisao. AM or PM, I see no signs of military time. We're in America, we based it based on the sunlight. You know it's AM or PM based on what the time is outside when you say the statement. Gosh! I swallowed the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. Unless it's Alaska. Unless it's Alaska, true. But we don't talk about Alaska. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Told you so," or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that will remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. I take this little paper he's offering and then make my leave as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There is some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff, and going straight away to the class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. Oh god, we're gonna bump into Kenji, aren't we? The halls are quiet as the courtyard was, and naturally, so since everyone is in class... God damn it, I read that horribly. The halls are quiet as the courtyard was. Naturally, so since everyone is in class, I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Okay, we aren't gonna deal with Kenji. Cool. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tended to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of a stern look, but doesn't say anything. Just nods solemnly again. I shrug, and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food! Everyone bursts out in laughter. And so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant more was that the remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally, I'd join the flow and grab a lunch myself, but today is different. Today, I've been invited to lunch on the roof. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. Eventually, the torrent subsides and I step tentatively out into the hallway. Only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball. Hey, hi Hisao, great timing! I have super extra lunch today, as promised. Let's go upstairs. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with a missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves open the door and steps beaming into the sunlight. Oh, hey. Somehow I'm not surprised. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. Eek! Hello! Yipes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she? Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh. Does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in the other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. Small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and are at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere, a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. Emmy made lunch despite nearly giving you a heart attack. She's immediately the best. I'm not gonna lie, I do like Emmy so far. She's fun. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only 1 short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had the time to think about how I feel about it. Power of gaslighting. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. Does this look perfectly clear to you? They're clouds up there, sir. Sonny boy, those are clouds. That means it's not perfectly clear. It's just mostly clear. Sheesh. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces 1 big and 2 small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Isao, what are you waiting for? She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. They can be carrot-shaped. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I make it myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? Yeah, probably. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Ah, his sound. Ah, kids. Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Girl without feet are best friends with the girl without arms, truly. Together they make one person. I'm kidding. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings? Oh, Rin. Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Wow! Someone in the housing department is a dick. Compliment each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it? Ah. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. Does that mean they put Hisao and Kenji together on purpose? Probably. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better, and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. They did put Lily and Hanako together on purpose. I mean, yeah. One has burn scars that make that she doesn't like people looking at, and the other is, well, blind, so she can't. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. Yo, we got the juice boxes! Woo! She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow, I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Hisao, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places. For the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? Oh god, I'm gonna have to start thinking about who I eat lunch with. I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature. The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pounce. Kidding! I was kidding! Gaslighting was effective. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay, too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess that makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're gonna fade away. Rin shrugs, as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. Three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so he heads to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. I don't even think he ever mentioned actually reading those, so dude must have done those really fast. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday. All the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I'd borrow into the return slots on the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging that they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry, Yuko. Didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens. A lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do. And after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eyes. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Oh look, there she is. Surprisingly though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. After an indiscernible amount of time spent pursuing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room and read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I start thinking of myself as some kind of an Alice, too. Haplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this cripple wonderland. Don't say it like that, dude! Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location and the overt way the school accommodates absolutely everything is unsettling. It is like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everything being so hospitable and friendly with me. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad. Like it has since that time in the forest with Iwanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fall asleep. One more day done! Let's go! The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. Only took you 40 minutes this time! Woo! Let's go! And I almost died in the process. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Mito lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbook into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Mito approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Oh, gosh. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. Just wanted to drop in and say that I love Katawa Shoujo. Don't have time to stick around for the stream, but be sure to watch the VOD. Great. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for popping into chat. Glad to see you. Enjoy the VOD. I'm going to try to stream this more often because I like this game too. I've just been sick like every other day that I've been trying to play it, so I haven't been playing it as much as I want to. I'll be sure to play it again next week though, so you'll have another VOD to watch, so stick around for that. Anyway, back to the point. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Muto closes his eyes in frustration, and I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Muto appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you gotta keep up with you gotta keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over, and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think, in hindsight, that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's go back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto does not even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. Class returns to the near silence that Muto and I left in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival at all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turned pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat, trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess that the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air blows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I'd do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji is in his room. Oh my god! On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hisao! Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide, as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? Nothing, really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect, then you can help me in Rin. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure I would be of much help. That's fine, I'm not much help either. Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slowing me down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. I doubt it! We go all the way back to the third floor and into the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy, had I known. So is Rin working on that mural still? That's right, she needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff. So I went to get them from an art classroom. And you need me to help with that. Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they've been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. The smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings on various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. She's short. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up to the shelf. She looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Poor girl. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. She's tiny. You are not! She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging humph, she turns her back to me. So I began scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below, Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double-checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. What do you mean she's upset about her height? She can just get longer legs. I can't. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a treasure hunter's spoils do I realize that it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? She's so short-sighted. No, sorry. That would be Kenji. That'd be Kenji. Pay attention, pay attention.
Small Emmy can't reach the high shelf.
She sure can't, Angie. At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Rin. I'm sure she's used to some amount of teasing from Rin anyway. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. I didn't hear her, she's so low to the ground. Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault though, she should have started earlier. Is she gonna make it? No idea, it looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning, lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. Jesus, woman! And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. Emmy giggles at that, as well as my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it, she's just a little weird sometimes.
She is so small that she is perfect height for something in particular.
Alright, I have to... You know what you did. On that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Rin's whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do, with them working as a single entity sometimes. It's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I've ever met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again, as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself. But really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp about for a properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier, she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tons of red, pink, and orange. We said the thing! We said the thing! Let's go! Yeah! Sorry. Got a little excited there for a second. And orange, a weird imaginary thing was populating the spaces between. It looks nice. Can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively. So I settle on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems like that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy, as if she were a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying spectrum of war paintings, similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again? Misao helped me. Emmy points victoriously at me. Rin turns around, following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night, a vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and movements like in a slow-motion move me. Hello, Sao. Thank you for the help. Don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you made progress. Looking good, as far as I can tell. But now you got more bad luck. I know, but I'm willing to take the risk. It's a very nice thing to say. For me, of course. Not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance, their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club, you see. Blind boy, so he doesn't see. So he doesn't see. Let me spoil a little bit. You only have 2 routes you can go on right now. By that, do you mean like I've locked myself out of other routes, or do you mean like you have to play through the game several times to get other routes? You should become an artist. No bad luck, guaranteed. Don't you think that would be a good idea? That only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. You might have a point. You locked yourself out of other routes? Already? Holy shit. Wow, that was fast. If I had to guess, I'd say my 2 routes are Lily and Hanako, and Emmy and Rin here. I think that much is pretty obvious. By not doing the student council stuff, I locked myself out of the other routes. And Kenji... I don't even want to know. Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. I won't tell. Emmy, I need the Prussian blue paint. Which one's Prussian blue? She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with Prussian blue paint in it. Rin, you have to be more specific! That's the thing she doesn't understand! Jeez, Rin, you're not helping at all! I look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. What Prussia even is. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. While none of the blues look more Prussian than any others, the small print on the label is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents being Prussian. There's no Prussian blue here. We need to go get more then. I open my mouth to say that actually, we're both not needed for such a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue, but Emmy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I wave to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the 2 of us are even leaving. Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds out it's still not there. Maybe. Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking about how weird Rin is, Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Huh? Emmy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure something out. Just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawns on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavy since we stopped. Guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everyone can be in shape, you know. Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. Or, that is, I should get in shape? Not that I hadn't already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figured there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually I wasn't, but it was fun? Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. You're joining me. I beg your pardon? In the mornings, you and I are now running partners. I've got a routine all planned out. In fact, she produces a crumpled sheet of paper. I've got it right here with me. I take the sheet of paper and give it a once-over. Times, dates, and laps all laid out. A slow increase from just a few laps a day to... My god, does she expect me to have me running marathons? Where'd she find the time to get all this all together? How long has she been planning this anyway? Buddy, Sal, I think she has a crush on you. You've been planning this? A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. Actually, never mind, you're locking her out. I wonder which one it could be. He told me to keep an eye on you to make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy? Maybe Kenji's onto something here. This seems a bit much for just keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. My god, Kenji. If only you could see the scheme unfolding. What do you need a partner for anyway? It's easier to keep a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Emmy supremacy. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I keep running as well. You're safe from the carrots for now. I think I already know who the carrots route is that you're talking of. I can also work out something. God damn it. I'm gonna start adding some metal pipes in there too to start smacking you with. No horny. Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse. And I'll be keeping an eye on you just like he asked. Actually, no. Oh my. You cut on quick, Asao. And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. But I've got to at least put up a token of resistance to such a masterfully executed plan. You got it completely wrong? Damn. Well, if you refused, I'd have to pout. Or you'd have to live with being the guy who made Emi Ibarazaki pout. And yes, you're on Emi's route already. I've noticed. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? As if to demonstrate, Emi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing that I've ever seen. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like I just hit a puppy. So it's settled, right? You pout or pout. You need to be stopped. You gonna be my running partner? Follow the workout? The dietary plan? Dietary plan? Yeah, the dietary plan. You've got to eat healthy if you're gonna get in shape, you know. I examine the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here. Oh right, I forgot to give that to you. Another crumpled sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed. I had the nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication that the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. And again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, this dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that'll be offered at the festival tomorrow. So when does our running start? After the festival. Right after. What if I've had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know. I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't there something we were supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should get that paint, huh? Oh no, it slipped my mind. Also, my best girl ranking is Lily, Hanako, Emmy, Suzune. Rin. Huh. I don't mind it. I don't mind Rin. I'm not gonna ask why you don't like her, because that would probably spoil things. But I am a little surprised. By the time we get the paint back and get back to the mural, Rin's already wandered off. Oh yeah, I guess you could probably throw some carrots at me anyway, because I don't even mind Rin. I think Rin's kind of funny. I kind of like her, actually. Oh well. Emmy and I both decide to part ways there, leaving the paint on the ground. Rin will find it, whenever she comes back, anyway. Festival's tomorrow. I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, the week's left me feeling pretty tired, so I read a little and then go to bed. Mine is Rin, Emmy, Hanako, and Kenji. I think you're missing a few there, but... The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's Sunday and there are no classes. Not just a Sunday though, but the festival as well. From my window, I can already see some people at the soba booth slinging noodles onto plates for people with a craving for low-quality food. Throw back a handful of my morning meds and ponder how to spend the day. If you would have gotten the Kenji route, you would have also gotten the carrots. Yeah, probably. Kenji's funny, I don't mind him. He is insane, though. There will be a few exams in the coming week, but I don't consider those as ominous as others, so I'm not worried about them as I probably should be. With no urgent obligations regarding education, I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Finishing my morning routine, I exit into the hallway, intending to go out and find something to eat, when I bump into Kenji, who starts saying something batshit insane. Passing by his door, I decide to see what Kenji's up to today out of impulse, and also probably to get my fucking money back. I'm curious if he has any plans, since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can picture him having built a soundproof shelter in his room. Or possibly something like a fort, complete with "No Girls Allowed" sign. And with the girls crossed out and body crudely scrawled underneath it. Knocking on his door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling click of at least 10 locks being pulled back. The door opens up a crack. Fun fact, Emmy is the easiest route to get into. I've noticed! I picked, like, what, one dialogue option and now I'm here? I just decided to run along with her and now I'm stuck here. Who is it? You're supposed to ask that before you open the door. Oh, it's you. Damn, it's early. It's not really that early. What is it, man? Nothing. I was just gonna ask what you're gonna do today. Half the school is out there already. Out where? Why? What? What? Is today special? Why are they there? Who are? I can hear them. It's loud. Don't tell me. Has the invasion begun? He suddenly looks more alarmed. What day is it, man? Yeah, I guess you can't see the big wooden booths outside. And people selling stuff. What the hell are you talking about? And my curtains close at all times to thwart the snipers. It's the festival. You know that, right? Oh shit, that's today? Oh damn it! I can't believe I forgot. I don't have my fort finished yet. This is bad. Oh my god, he was actually making a fort. It's going to be a very bad day. It's good you told me this, man. This is going to be a bad day. Why? Oh man, they're going to be everywhere. The people outside my window, socializing. Kenji rubs his temples nervously, suddenly looking very ill. It's going to be loud as hell. Damn, and I was going to go out today, but now it's ruined. Everything is ruined. This is awful. This sucks. This sucks. What the hell? This really sucks. I can't go anywhere now. There's nowhere to run. Kenji seems nervous. You could even say he's majorly freaking out.
I can't believe this. So that's what today was. Damn, and I couldn't even prepare for it. I couldn't even brace myself, and now it's here and I can't do anything. You should have told me this earlier, dude. I mean, at least I know, but I could have known earlier. Imagine what I could have accomplished. Sorry, I thought you knew. So I guess you're not going to do anything today? The weather is even good. Yesterday was really windy, so I thought today would be cold. It's not, though. There's no reason to just stay inside. Yeah, you should check the festival out. Kenji groans and covers his face with his hands. Ah, no, I can't do it. Leave me alive out there, I know it. He helped prepare for the festival just to forget when it happens. He sure did, didn't he? That has to be a joke, but he said it with such a straight face. Relatively straight. What are you gonna do? We should hang out in here. You can help me build my fort. We might still make it if we work together. I wonder. I'm kinda hungry, but I made this deal that I try to take better care of myself. Be healthier, you know? So I don't know if I should steer clear of the takoyaki or head straight in. Deal? Sounds ominous. So what are you getting in return? Nothing, I guess? It's not that kind of a deal. You know Emmy from our year? We kind of agreed to watch each other's back and... Oh, I did the wrong voice. You know Emmy from our year? We kind of agreed to watch each other's backs and... I caught myself because I was doing the Kenji voice and I was like, there's no way Kenji would say that. The shrill scream and the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. It's as if I told a Catholic priest I sold my soul to the devil. Her! You sold your soul to the devil and didn't get anything in return? What the hell is wrong with you, man? You know who you're dealing with? She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends to the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles? She's one of them, a key player in the vast conspiracy that aims for the complete submission of everything that is manly. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I trusted in your judgment, man. I thought we were brothers. You have to call it off before it's too late. This festival, too, it's just one of their ploys. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster like he's trying to start a fire, and slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. Gonna have to go find some place to hide in, a safe haven, and then knock the lights out of myself so that I don't have to experience this horrible day. I have the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Don't go to the festival. Okay. Later, dude. The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. It's kind of unsettling, and now I start to feel doubtful myself. Should I bother going? I've got a book I've been meaning to read. Yes, go to the freaking festival and socialize, kid. Something about an underground postal system that may or may not exist. It's short, too. I could have it finished in a day. But would that be a good way to spend my time? Well, yeah, definitely would be. But I suppose that would probably be a better idea to head outside. See the festival. Try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up the somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat, my stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from one of the stalls outside. I'm soon outside, surrounded by various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often, I catch a glimpse of someone who clearly just came up from town for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. The ones who can't stop staring, and behind their eyes you can tell they're thinking, now, what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them, but at the same time, can I deny that I've been doing the same thing all week? A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me, guilt from my own narrow-mindedness. I push the thoughts aside, concentrating on the pangs of hunger that burn my guts like a wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land where I can get some lunch. I'm just getting my order when a loud voice interrupts me. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Having lunch? Breakfast? You mean you just got up? Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I meant lunch, honest. She's not buying it. Brunch? That's not a healthy breakfast at all. She snatches my food out of my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing? Hey, that's my breakfast. What happened to it being your lunch? That's my... whatever, it's my food. Amy places her hand on her hips and begins lecturing me. Did you really forget your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your healthy self.
Dude, it's the festival. It just started. Give me a break. What about your heart? My heart's fine the way it is, mostly. All I get in response is a roll of the eyes. I doubt that. You wouldn't be here if that was the case, would you? The girl's got a point, of course, but I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly it can handle a little grease now and again. Yeah, sure, and it handled a little running just fine, too. You can break your diet plan. Should I ring that? Should I ring the... No. I won't ring it this time. Emmy seems unconvinced. Not surprising, as I haven't even managed to convince myself. Maybe, but if you're not sleeping the day away all the time... A devious look suddenly crosses her face. Of course, if you've been following a routine from the beginning, you wouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I've had a pretty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died. There was a lot of meeting people, and then I was on a roof for a while. Which is no excuse for slacking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise. Like running in the mornings. She nods, as if something important has just been decided. So it's settled then. You've seen the error of your ways and are willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll be running buddies. You know, you'd already convinced me yesterday that this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job of being convinced. She's right about eating healthy, after all. And here I am ordering up something grossly unhealthy. But delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like, staying alive. If Emmy weren't here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably... Hey, wait a second. A sudden question springs to mind. Hey, why the hell have you taken such an interest in my well-being? He's starting to figure it out. He's starting to figure it out. He got a question on you, little boy. Emmy shrugs and grins at me. Ah, she's good at hiding it, at least. You're the new guy. I figure you don't have any friends yet, right? Besides, I've caused you trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would, anyway. Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy. Well, I suppose there are worse fates. Okay, that sounds fine. Thanks for your concern. Tomorrow morning, then? I figured that ends the conversation, so I turn to leave. Not so fast! I feel a hand on my collar, and in a second I've been yanked backwards. Hey, don't need to be so rough. What do you want now? Emmy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question. Thought you could use the company. Her eyes narrow. Besides, you were just gonna try sneaking around some more of that fried crap, weren't you? Well, I wasn't going to, but now that she mentions it, it would have been a really good idea. I was not! Another glare. Okay, maybe I was going to get a little.
Emmy is having you submit to her mind control.
Damn, the feminist agenda. She's having me submit to mind control. We have to resist. We have to resist for Kenji. The glare continues. No! Okay, a lot. Jesus, I'm a danger to myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier and then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way. I knew it. You can't be trusted. Now I definitely have to stick with you. This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine what passerby thinks of the sight of me being lectured by a tiny girl half my size. Maybe I should just give up for now. Fine, do what you like. I sigh. Might as well make the best of this. What do you want to do? Emmy thinks for a minute. Well, I promised Ren I'd stop by her mural. So let's do that. I confess I'm slightly curious as to how her mural turned out for myself, so again I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent and find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Emmy races to our destination. By the time we reach the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. I take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. I'm one of the most normal-looking people in the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I'd lost a hand or something. At least then it'd be obvious that I belong. But instead, I don't even look sick. Even now, trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Emmy looks back and notices my state of distress. You're not going to die on me, are you? Please don't. It'll be all my fault. I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, after the last time, I really don't think I need to see that again, especially because the nurse will totally say it's all my fault. No, I'm fine. Guess I need to start running after all. And you wanted to keep eating a greasy whatever it was. See, it's a good thing I found you, right? Yes, it was. Maybe. Yes, it was. Maybe. Of course, I don't add that I wouldn't be in this state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Further conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rin. Oh, it's you. Hello, Emmy. Hey, Rin, I brought Hisao along because he was going to give himself a heart attack. I was not. My objection goes unnoticed. We stopped by to see how the mural turned out. Rin nods slowly. Well, it's right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rin's been standing here in front of the mural. And how did she drag him by a lewd hand-holding? True! We gotta ring the bell for that. Has anyone even stopped by to look at it? Oh, this is scandalous. This is scandalous. We held Hanako's hand before we held Emmy's. Oh no. Oh no, don't tell Emmy. Don't tell Emmy. She'll be disappointed to hear that we that she wasn't the first to hold my hand. She'll be upset. Don't tell her. We're the first ones. Obviously, we're not the first to see it, of course. I mean, it is pretty big. You'd be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. That's why Rin is best girl. She can't be sinful like the rest of them. It's true. Actually, Emmy dragged him twice by hand-holding. How scandalous. We might as well already be married then. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. It looks pretty good. I'm still not happy with how it turned out. But I guess it'll do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. Oh gosh. We stand in front of the mural, taking it all in. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. It's actually fairly interesting. The colors swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. You are already married! There's a dream-like quality to the whole thing that makes me feel almost sleepy. I try hunting out some of the colors Emmy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, I can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. My feet start to hurt, but Rin doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey Rin, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive other... Rin's so funny. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe, but I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good, come get some food with us. Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care. Whoever they are. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I'd better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. We find a nice spot on the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchases anyway. Somehow I've wound up paying for all the food. Damn! I'm paying for their food. Kenji's stealing my lunch money to buy pizza and not even giving me any. Gosh, what do they think I am anyway? Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat, and Rin stares at something or other, occasionally eating a bite or two of her food. Listen, Emmy cooked for you. She did. I did deliberately I did deliberately ignore that fact and not mention it. That was intentional. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Hisao? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We start our morning runs, remember? Actually, they'd slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You'd better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts. Well, don't cause any random acts of God then. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little fried food. And anyways, I'm gonna start running tomorrow, right? So the actual routine all starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with wild abandon before the hospital. Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do, and if I'm gonna run in the morning, I should make it an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not just gonna sneak off and buy some of that fried stuff over there? Damn, she's good! She knows. Nah, I'm too full to bother now. I pat my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. They haven't. Emmy giggles. It's a surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. All part of my master plan, he said. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food, and for keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say, see you tomorrow, because that would be like predicting the future, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stands and buy some cake. At least it's not fried, right? That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. And then Emmy chased us back, saw that we bought cake, and now she's mad at us. I still feel bad about lying to Emmy, though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. Oh, damn, he actually got away with it. Sneaky, sneaky guy. My book waits for me, and I flop onto my bed and read through the fireworks display. Eventually, all the walking around, or more accurately, running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. Emmy dragging me out in the morning to run might just be a good thing after all. Something to look forward to. Let's go! I didn't realize they got animations for this. I'm impressed. Go! Go! Run! Not again! Hand holding. Unprotected hand holding. Oh no. Lewd! Lewd! This is illegal! We aren't married yet, woman! You can't do this to me! No! Act 2, form. Well, I think that's a good stopping point for today. Mainly because I need to, the next time we start this, I need to make it obvious that I'm going down Emmy's route first.
There is a dubbed ghost hunter line to help you run faster.
Alright, this is fun. I kind of want to play more, I'm not gonna lie, but I think this is a good stuff. Oh, you get more, okay, you get more scraps of paper with drawings on them, the more stuff you complete. Okay, alright. I like this, this is good, this is good. Yeah, I think I said I was only gonna do one playthrough of this game, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna do more. Which route will you try to go for? After Emmy? Probably Hanako or Lily, I think.
Great job choosing the best girl.
She's quite funny, I like her. She's good. We didn't do wrong. It's very fitting. It's very fitting somehow that I managed to, the first route, right? I managed to get the twin tails. Very fitting. Very fitting. I'm just talented like that, I suppose. I'm just that good. Real recognizes real, as they say, right? Keep her an arm's length away at all times. I don't know if you can say that about the one that has arms. Anyway, yeah, that'll do it for today. I got some work I gotta do anyway on the script for the Fire Emblem playthrough. It's all she has. Despite being my fave being Lily, I highly recommend Hanako. I mean, they all seem like fun routes. Aside from Kenji. Just kidding, I'm sure his route is funny, if nothing else. But yeah, I gotta go work on that script. This is gonna take me quite a few. Just getting the script right is gonna take a couple of takes, I'm pretty sure. Because I every single time I like look back at it, I'm like, oh, I need to add this. I need to add this and this and this. And like an idea for the video starts to form in my mind. But I gotta write it all down. I gotta get there first, so. Baby steps, baby steps. Which means that this video is going to take even longer than I thought it was going to make. I'm probably not going to do this sort of thing too often. At least not without help. But anyway. That's going to be it for today. Next week we're going to do... we're going to start the Pokemon Moemon challenge run thingy-mahoozit. We're going to do more KATAWA Shoujo. We're going to do more Limbus Lumpany. And I think that's it, because I still need to spend some time working on the script. But that'll do it for today. Thank you for stopping by. I'll make sure to edit something together for Emmy route, and then I'll see you next time. I'm gonna lose so many waifus on Moemon. We'll see about that. Bye-bye!